Shalom. Baruch are all those who revere Yahuwah and walk in his ways. So we're blessed when we revere the Most High and we walk in his ways. Today, the message of encouragement is called Many Called, Few Chosen. Then shall the kingdom of heaven be likened unto 10 virgins or maidens, which took their lamps and went forth to meet the bridegroom. 5 of them were wise and 5 were foolish. They that were foolish took their lamps and took no oil with them. But the wise took oil in their vessels with their lamps. While the bridegroom tarried, they all slumbered and slept. And at midnight there was a cry made, Behold, the bridegroom cometh. Go ye out to meet him. Then all those virgins arose and trimmed their lamps. And the foolish said unto the wise, Give us of your oil, for our lamps are gone out. But the wise answered, saying, Not so, lest there be not enough for us and you. But go ye rather to them that sell and buy for yourselves. And while they went to buy, the bridegroom came, and they that were ready went in with him to the marriage, and the door was shut. They that were ready. Afterward came also the other virgins, the other maidens, saying, Elohim, Elohim, open to us. But he answered and said, Verily I say unto you, I know you not. Watch therefore, for you know neither the day nor the hour wherein the Son of Man cometh. And you can find this in Matthew 25, verses 1 through 13. Luke 21:34. And take heed to yourself, lest at any time your hearts be overcharged with surfeiting and drunkenness and cares of this life, so that day come upon you unawares. For as a snare shall it come on all them that dwell on the face of the whole earth. See, everybody who is alive is going to face the tribulation. Watch you therefore and pray always, that you may be accounted worthy to escape all these things that shall come to pass, and to stand before the Son of Man. Remember the parable of the maidens? It said, Watch therefore, for you know neither the day nor the hour wherein the Son of Man cometh. And then Yahushua warned, Take heed to yourself, lest at any time your hearts be overcharged with the cares of this life. Getting drunk with the things that seem to matter to those that are in the world. We don't measure up to that of the world. Remember that saying, keeping up with the Joneses? We can't do that. We're sojourners here. We're pilgrims. This is not our life. We're not striving to be a part of this kingdom on this earth. Mark 13, verses 32 through 33, and verses 35 and 37. But of that day and that hour knoweth no man, no, not the messengers, the angels which are in the Shamayim, the heavens, neither the Son, but the Father. Take ye heed, watch and pray, for you know not when that time is. Watch you therefore, for you know not when the master of the house cometh, at even, or at midnight, or at the cock crowing, or in the morning. Lest coming suddenly he find you sleeping. And what I say unto you, I say unto all, watch. Okay, remember there's a couple of audios regarding some of these things that are being mentioned now. One of them is for us not to be sleeping and to watch and pray. O house of Yaakov, house of Jacob, come ye, and let us walk in the light of Yahuwah Elohim, Isaiah 2 and 5. And in that day 7 women shall take hold of one man, saying, We will eat our own bread and wear our own apparel. Only let us be called by your name to take away our reproach. That's Isaiah 40 and 1. Remember in Revelations, the very first 2 chapters, he's talking to 7 assemblies. And he's telling them what they need to do to get right. He's commending them on certain things, and he gives a list of things that we need to do to get right. So these 7 women, they want his name. They want to play the part, but they don't want to put forth the effort. That same day when Yahushua came out of the house and sat by the seaside, and great multitudes were gathered together unto him, so that he went into a ship and sat, and the whole multitude stood on the shore. If you want to read along with me, I need to tell you where that is, right? So I'm in Matthew 13, 1 through 30. Okay. And great multitudes were gathered together unto him, so that he went into a ship and sat. And the whole multitude stood on the shore, and he spake many things unto them in parables, saying, Behold, the sower went forth to sow. And when he sowed, some seeds fell by the wayside, and the fowls came and devoured them up. Some fell upon stony places where they had not much earth, and forthwith they sprung up, because they had no deepness of earth. And when the sun was up, they were scorched, because they had no root, they withered away. And some fell among thorns, and the thorns sprung up and choked them. But some fell onto good ground, and brought forth fruit, some 100-fold, some 60, and some 30-fold. Who hath ears to hear? Remember, we hear with the ears of our heart. Let him hear. And the disciples came and said unto him, Why speakest thou unto them in parables? And he answered and said unto them, Because it is given unto you to know the mysteries of the kingdom of heaven, but to them it is not given. Oh my. Okay. For whosoever hath, to him shall be given, and he shall have more abundance. But whosoever hath not, from him shall be taken away even that he hath. Therefore speak I to them in parables, because they seeing see not, and hearing they hear not, neither do they understand. So it's not about hearing with these ears that are on each side of our head. It has to be the hearing of our heart. It has to be something a little bit deeper than actually being able to have the ability to hear sound, right? Okay. And in them is fulfilled the prophecy of Isaiah, which saith, By hearing you shall hear, and shall not understand. So see, when they're hearing with the vessels that the members of our bodies that we have, people can hear with that, but not understand. So by hearing you hear, and shall not understand, and seeing you shall see, and shall not perceive. For this people's heart is waxed gross, and their ears are dull of hearing, and their eyes they have closed, lest at any time they should see with their eyes, and hear with their ears, and they should understand with their heart, and should be converted, and I should heal them. But blessed are your eyes, for they see, and your ears, for they hear. Verily I say unto you, that many prophets and righteous men have desired to see those things which you see, and have not seen them, and to hear those things which you hear, and have not heard them. 2 Corinthians chapter 4, verse 1 through 2 or 3, it talks about that the God of this world has blinded them, lest the glorious light of the good news, the Basora, be shown to them. Hear ye therefore the parable of the sower. When anyone heareth the word of the kingdom, and understands it not, then cometh the wicked one, and catches away that which was sown in his heart. This is he which receiveth seed by the wayside. But he that received the seed unto stony places, the same is he that hears the word, and with joy receives it. But yet he hath not root in himself, but endureth for a while. For when tribulation and persecution arises because of the word, by and by he is offended. He also that receiveth seed among the thorns is he that hears the word, and the care of this world and the deceitfulness of riches choke the word, and he becomes unfruitful. But he that receiveth seed into the good ground is he that hears the word and understands it, which also bears fruit and brings forth, some 100-fold, some 60, some 30. Another parable he spoke unto them, saying, The kingdom of heaven is likened unto a man which sowed good seed in his field. But while men slept, his enemy came and sowed tares among the wheat and went his way. But when the blade was sprung up and brought forth fruit, then appeared the tares also. So the servants of the householder came and said unto him, Sir, didst thou not sow good seed in thy field? How is it that there are tares? He said unto them, An enemy hath done this. The servants said unto him, Would you like that we go and gather them up? But he said, Nay, lest while you gather the tares, you root up also the wheat with them. Let both grow together until the harvest. And in the time of harvest I will say to the reapers, Gather ye together first the tares and bind them in bundles to burn them, but gather the wheat into the barn. Okay, so all that is found in Matthew 13, verses 1 through 30. And then in Revelations, I think it's chapter 6, he actually talks about this very thing that's going to take place. So in Matthew 13, verses 36 and 43, so we're still in Matthew 13. Then Yahushua sent the multitude away and went into the house, and his disciples came unto him, saying, Declare unto us the parable of the tares of the field. He answered and said unto them, He that sowed the good seed is the Son of Man. The field is the world, the good seed are the children of the kingdom, but the tares are the children of the wicked one. The enemy that soweth them is the evil one. The harvest is the end of the world, and the reapers are the angels. I'm telling you, it's in Revelation. I think it's chapter 6. As therefore the tares are gathered and burned in the fire, so shall it be in the end of the world. The Son of Man shall send forth his messengers, his angels, and they shall gather out of his kingdom. Please hear this, okay? The Son of Man shall send forth his angels, and they shall gather out of his kingdom. Hear with the ears of your heart what I'm getting ready to say. I'm reading what is written. They shall gather out of his kingdom all things that offend, and them which do iniquity, and shall cast them into a furnace of fire. There shall be wailing and gnashing of teeth. Then shall the righteous shine forth as the sun in the kingdom of their Father. Who hath ears to hear? Let him hear. Psalms 119, verse 165. Great peace have they which love your law, and nothing shall offend them. Psalms 119, verse 105. Thy word is a lamp unto my feet and a light unto my path. Remember, we started out with Matthew 25 with the 10 maidens. 5 were wise, 5 were foolish. Okay, they had a lamp and they had a light. Thy word is a lamp unto my feet and a light unto my path. For the commandment, Proverbs 6:23 reads, is a lamp, and the law is light, and reproofs of instruction are the way of life. So are we going to be wise or are we going to be foolish? In order for us to be wise, that means that we have got to have the commandment, which is a lamp, and the law, which is the light, and receive the reproofs of instruction, because they are the way of life. Ephesians 5:23 through 27. Because the husband is head of the wife, as also the Messiah is head of the assembly, and he is Savior of the body. But as the assembly is subject to the Messiah, the Hamashiach, so also let the wives be to their own husbands in every respect. So if we're going to be a bride, if we're going to be part of the bride, we have got to be subject to the Messiah, the Hamashiach. So that means what? We've got to keep his commandments. We've got to be law-abiding. Law-abiding? Yes. Yes, ma'am. Yes, sir. Law-abiding. Keeping the Torah. So also let the wives be to their own husbands in every respect. Husband, love your wives as Hamashiach also did love the assembly and gave himself for it. In order, what? To set it apart and cleanse it with the washing of the water by the word, in order to present it to himself a splendid assembly, not having spot or wrinkle or any of this sort, but that it might be set apart and blameless. So when we read the word and when we receive the word, there is a washing that takes place, preparing us to be among the wise. In John 15, verses 1 through 11, I am the true vine, and my Father is the husbandman. Every branch in me that beareth not fruit, he taketh away, and every branch that beareth fruit, he purgeth, that it bring forth more fruit. Now you are clean through the word which I have spoken unto you. Abide. We got to go back to that audio on abiding, right? Abide in me, and I in you, as the branch cannot bear fruit of itself, except it abide in the vine. No more can you, except you abide in me. I am the vine, you are the branches, the Nazarene. You that abide, he that abideth in me, and I in him, the same bringeth forth much fruit. For without me you can do nothing. If a man abideth not in me, he is cast forth as a branch and is withered, and men gather them and cast them into the fire, and they are burned. If you abide in me, and my words abide in you, you shall ask what you will, and it shall be done to you. Wherein is my Father glorified, but that you bear much fruit? So shall you be my disciples. We're not his disciples that we bear forth fruit. We can't bear forth fruit if we're not receiving of the word that's going to bring forth the fruit. Okay? As the Father hath loved me, so have I loved you. Continue in my love. If you keep my commandments, you shall abide in my love, even as I have kept my Father's commandments and abide in his love. These things have I spoken unto you, that my joy might remain in you, and that your joy might be full. Ye have not chosen me, but I've chosen you, and ordained you, that you should go and bring forth fruit, and that your fruit should remain, and that whatsoever you shall ask the Father in my name, he may give it to you. Okay, for years and years and years and years, I was taught that this fruit was bringing in souls. No, it's not. It is not. It is not bringing in souls. It's about working out our own salvation with fear and trembling. It's about asking him to work in us both to will and to do of his good pleasure, to bring forth that fruit. Remember in Galatians 5, the fruit of the Spirit, right? It is not about winning souls. I'm not saying we're not supposed to share the good news of the store with others. I'm not saying that. I'm saying we got to, how can we? We're going to be blind leading the blind. We've got to get it first. And then they'll see that light. And they'll see the love of Yahushua in us. And they'll see the blessings of Yahuwah on our life. And then they'll want it. But we've got to get the fruit first. And then we'll bear more fruit. 2 Peter 1, he talks about adding on. And the last of it is the knowledge of the Hamashiach. Proverbs 18 and 22 says, whoso finds a wife finds a good thing and obtains favor of Yahuwah. So in John 15, he talks about love, keeping my commandments. Prior to that, we talked about Ephesians 5. The wife is subject to the husband. So the assembly is subject to the Messiah. Why? Because he's the bridegroom. Deuteronomy 6, 1 through 5. Now these are the commandments, the statutes, and the judgments which Yahuwah your Elohim commanded to teach you, that you might do them in the land where you go to possess it, that you might fear Yahuwah your Elohim, to keep all his statutes and his commandments, which I command you, you and your son and your son's sons, all the days of your life, and that your days may be prolonged. Hear therefore, O Yisrael, and observe to do it, that it may be well with you, and that you may increase mightily, as Yahuwah Elohim of your fathers has promised you, in the land that flowed with milk and honey. Hear, O Yisrael, Yahuwah your Elohim is one Elohim, and you shall love Yahuwah your Elohim with all your heart, with all your soul, and with all your might. Deuteronomy 7, verses 6 through 7, and 9, 11, and 15. For you are a set-apart people unto Yahuwah Elohim. Yahuwah Elohim hath chosen you. Remember, Yahushua said in John, you've not chosen me, I've chosen you. So Yahuwah now is saying in Deuteronomy that he has chosen us to be a special people unto himself, above all people that are upon the face of the earth. Yahuwah didn't set his love upon you, nor choose you because you were more in number than any people, for you were the fewest of all people. Know therefore that Yahuwah, your Elohim, the sovereign one, he is Elohim, the faithful one, which keeps covenant and mercy with them that love him and keep his commandments to 1,000 generations. You shall therefore keep the commandments and the statutes and the judgments which I command you this day to do them. Wherefore it shall come to pass, if you hearken, if you hear, if you take heed to these judgments and keep them and do them, that Yahuwah your Elohim shall keep you and keep unto you the covenant and the kindness which he swore unto your fathers. He will love you and bless you and multiply you. He will also bless the fruit of your womb and the fruit of your land, your corn and your wine and your oil, the increase of your cattle and the flocks of your sheep, and the land which he swore unto your fathers to give you. You will be blessed above all people. There shall not be male or female barren among you or among your cattle. And Yahuwah will take away from you all sickness and shall put none of the evil diseases of Egypt, which you know, upon you, but will lay them upon all them that hate you. Deuteronomy 30, verse 10 through 20. If you shall hearken unto the voice of Yahuwah your Elohim to keep his commandments and his statutes, which are written in this book of the law, and if you turn unto Yahuwah your Elohim with all your heart and with all your soul, for this commandment which I command you this day, it is not hidden from you, neither is it far off. It is not in heaven that you should say, who shall go up for us to heaven and bring it unto us, that we may hear it and do it? Neither is it beyond the sea that you should say, who shall go over the sea for us and bring it to us, that we may hear it and do it? But the word is very near unto you, in your mouth and in your heart, that you might do it. See, I have set before you this day life and good, death and evil, and that I command you this day to love Yahuwah your Elohim, to walk in his ways, and to keep his commandments and his statutes and his judgments, that you may live and multiply, and Yahuwah your Elohim shall bless you in the land where you go to possess it. But if your heart turn away so that you will not hear, but shall be drawn away and worship other gods and serve them, I denounce unto you this day that you shall surely perish, and that you shall not prolong your days upon the land where you pass over Jordan to go to possess it. I call heaven and earth to record this day against you, that I have set before you life and death, blessing and cursing. Therefore choose life, that both you and your seed may live, that you would love Yahuwah your Elohim, that you would obey his voice, and that you would cleave to him, abide. For he is your life. You know, I didn't see that until today. That you would love your Elohim, Yahuwah your Elohim, and that you would obey his voice, and that you would cleave to him, for he is your life, and the length of your days, that you would dwell in the land which Yahuwah swore unto your fathers, to Abraham, to Ishak, and to Jacob, to give them. Matthew 7, verse 21 through 29. Not everyone that said unto me, Elohim, Elohim, shall enter into the kingdom of heaven, but he that does the will of my Father which is in the Shemaim, the heavens. Many will say to me in that day, Elohim, Elohim, have we not prophesied in your name? And in your name have cast out devils? And in your name done many wonderful works? Then I will profess unto them, I never knew you. Depart from me, ye that work iniquity. Therefore whosoever heareth these sayings of mine, and doeth them, I will liken him unto a wise man, which built his house upon the rock. And the rain descended, and the floods came, and the winds blew and beat upon that house, and it fell not, but it was founded upon a rock. And everyone that hears these sayings of mine, and doeth them not, shall be likened unto a foolish man, which built his house upon the sand. And the rain descended, and the floods came, and the winds blew and beat upon that house, and it fell. And great was the fall of it. And it came to pass, when Yahushua had ended these sayings, the people were astonished at his doctrine, for he taught them as having one of authority, not as the scribes. Now in Matthew 7, we just read where he says he's going to come. Then I will profess unto them, I never knew you, depart from me, ye that work iniquity. But in Matthew 25, he says it there. He says, it says, afterwards came also the other maiden, saying, Elohim, Elohim, open to us. But he answered and said, verily I say unto you, I know you not. Right there. So if he's saying, I know you not to the maidens, then we go to Matthew 7 where he says, I know you not. Depart from me, you that work iniquity. And then we read in Matthew 13 that the messengers, the angels, are going to go forth and take out of the kingdom those that do iniquity. There's something here, brothers and sisters. There's something here that we need to look at. So in closing, I'm going to read a few more verses that we've already heard earlier, just to reiterate what the message is today. Then shall the kingdom of heaven be likened unto 10 virgins or maidens, which took their lamps and went forth to meet the bridegroom. 5 of them were wise and 5 were foolish. They that were foolish took their lamps and took no oil with them, but the wise took oil in their vessels and their lamps. And so we find, reading in Psalms 119, verse 105, that thy word is a lamp unto my feet and a light unto my path. For the commandment is a lamp and the law is light. And the reproofs of instructions are the way of life. Proverbs 6 and 23. Isaiah 2 and 5 says, O house of Yaakov, come ye and let us walk in the light of Yahuwah Elohim. Closing with 1 Peter 2 and 9. But you are a chosen generation, a royal priesthood, a set apart nation, a peculiar people, that you should show forth the praise of him who has called you out of darkness into his marvelous light. We got to walk in the word. We've got to cleave to the commandments. We have to live by the law, which are instructions, a pure set apart living to please him, to be able to become citizens of the eternal, everlasting kingdom of the Most High. We want to be of the wise maidens. We don't want to be foolish. So in order to have oil in our lamp and to have the lamp, first of all, the lamp is the commandment and the light is the law. We can't get around it because he will tell us. And that's a very scary verse. He's going to say, depart from me, you workers of iniquity. And all this time they thought they were doing something. Didn't we do this in your name? First of all, let's stop right there. Do they even know his name? Oh, it's being revealed in these last days. It is being revealed. More and more people are learning his name. Praise be to Yah. They are learning his name. We've got to know his name. We've got to know his commandments to be able to live by them. We've got to seek his face, and we have to have ears to hear and ask for understanding. So with that, shalom, brethren, shalom, shalom, shalom. We all have work to do. Oh my. And as I've said before, I'm striving in this too. And it is such a blessing to be able to get word like this, because it's a reminder to me. And I'm so grateful that he has given us an opportunity to walk by that old landmark. You know, we don't want to be deceived. Remember, the enemy sowed seeds, and those seeds are deception. And there's been nothing but deception through the centuries of that which we've called, it's called religion. Let's get free of the seeds that the enemy has sowed. Let's not be among those asleep. Paul wrote in Thessalonians that we are not of those that sleep. Okay? So let's work at measuring up to the word, the commandments, so that we can be washed by the water of the word. Walk in the light, as Isaiah 2:5 says. Walk in the light of Yahuwah Elohim. Be blessed. May you eat on this, because I'm going to eat on it. I myself am going to replay this and pray that he bless me to know that I have got to measure up. There is a measuring stick. There is a measuring stick. He talks about that. He talks about that. I think it's Ezekiel and Isaiah, maybe. Talks about measuring. So we want to be in that number of the 5 wise. We want to be building our house, be like that wise man, and build our house upon the rock. And we know that Yahushua is the rock. I love you in Yahuwah. Remember that we win in Yahuwah at all times. We are blessed in him as when we keep the commandments and we revere him. He is worthy. He is worthy of our commitment unto him. He's looking for a bride. And as one preacher said, he is not going to have a second failed marriage. And that's one reason why the tribulation is happening too. We're going to show our allegiance to him. That's the only one we're supposed to have allegiance to. And you know what? And be very careful about saying, I just love that that shirt you have. I love chocolate. No, we only love one. Anything else could very possibly become a god. We love one. And he is one. Until next time, we win, we win, we win. Blessed are those who revere Yahuwah and what? Walk in his ways. We win in Yahuwah. Shalom till next time.